Have you ever wondered how the vibrant and diverse nation of Mexico came to be as we know it today? The roots of Mexico stretch back to a time long before Columbus set foot on the New World, to the rise and fall of ancient civilizations. The Olmec, often regarded as the mother culture of Mesoamerica, left behind colossal stone heads, hinting at their sophisticated society. The Maya, renowned for their astral knowledge, developed a complex calendar system that still amazes us today. And then there were the Aztecs, with the heart of their empire in the grand city of Tenochtitlan, a marvel of engineering that left the Spanish conquistadors in awe. Each of these civilizations, in their own unique way, contributed to the rich tapestry of Mexican culture. Yet, their story is just the beginning. These civilizations laid the groundwork for the Mexico we know today, but then the Spaniards arrived. In the early 16th century, the Spanish, led by Hernán Cortés, set foot on Mexican soil. This marked the beginning of an era that would drastically reshape the future of Mexico. Cortés was a man of ambition and cunning, traits that would serve him well in his conquest of the formidable Aztec Empire. The Aztecs, despite their impressive civilization and military prowess, were not prepared for the likes of Cortés. With superior weaponry, a host of native allies discontented with the Aztec rule, and a bit of luck, the Spanish managed to topple the Aztec Empire and establish their own rule, known as New Spain. This ushered in a period of profound change for the indigenous population. Spanish rule brought with it not only a foreign government, but also a new religion and language. Catholicism rapidly replaced the native religions, and the Spanish language began to permeate the region. For many indigenous people, this was a time of significant upheaval and loss. Yet amid this tumult, a new culture began to emerge, a blend of Spanish and indigenous traditions. This fusion would lay the groundwork for modern Mexican culture. But the Spanish rule was not without its opposition. As the indigenous population and the growing mestizo class, a mix of Spanish and indigenous heritage, became increasingly discontent with their colonizers, the seeds of rebellion were sown. Although the Spanish had firm control over Mexico, their reign wouldn't last forever. Fast forward to the early 19th century, when the spirit of revolution was in the air. The Mexican people, under the yoke of Spanish rule for over 3 centuries, yearned for liberty. Their aspirations for freedom were ignited by none other than Miguel Hidalgo, a Catholic priest from the small town of Dolores. Hidalgo's famous Grito de Dolores, translated as the Cry of Dolores, sparked the onset of the Mexican War of Independence. This was no mere shout, but a call to arms, a declaration of defiance against oppressive Spanish rule. The road to independence was fraught with hardship. The Mexican people faced not just the might of the Spanish army, but also internal divisions and a lack of resources. Yet their spirit remained unbroken. The war was a grueling 11-year struggle, filled with moments of despair and glimmers of hope. The Mexican people fought valiantly, their resolve fueled by their desire for self-determination. Finally, their efforts bore fruit. The Spanish were defeated and the Mexican people emerged victorious. On September 27, 1821, Mexico declared its independence, marking the end of Spanish rule and the beginning of a new chapter in its history. With independence won, Mexico faced the task of building a new nation. Gaining independence was just the first step in Mexico's journey. The newfound freedom came with its own set of challenges. Once the shackles of Spanish rule were discarded, Mexico found itself in a whirl of political instability. The country had to grapple with internal power struggles, leading to a series of short-lived governments and military coups. Mexico's vulnerability in the wake of independence did not go unnoticed by foreign powers. The United States saw an opportunity to expand its influence and did not hesitate to intervene in Mexican affairs, leading to the Mexican-American War in the mid-19th century. This clash resulted in Mexico losing a significant chunk of its territory to its northern neighbor. Later, France also tried to establish a foothold in Mexico, leading to the infamous French intervention in the 1860s. However, the Mexican resistance was resilient, and the country managed to maintain its sovereignty, albeit at a high cost. As Mexico navigated through these tumultuous times, the dawn of the 20th century brought with it a wave of revolution. The Mexican Revolution, which started in 1910, was a pivotal moment in the nation's history. It was a cry for agrarian reform, better living conditions, and a more equitable society. The revolution marked the end of the long-standing Porfiriato regime and paved the way for the Mexico we know today. This was followed by the Cristero War in the late 1920s, a violent conflict between the Mexican government and insurgent Catholic groups. The war was a reflection of the societal tensions that were brought to the surface by the rapid modernization and secularization of Mexico. Despite these challenges, Mexico has made significant strides in its development. It has grown from a newly independent nation, grappling with its identity, to a vibrant modern country that proudly carries its rich history and cultural heritage. Its journey has been far from easy, but the spirit of resilience and determination has remained a constant thread throughout. From ancient civilizations to a modern nation, Mexico's history is a rich tapestry that continues to be woven today. So, how did Mexico transform from the land of the Aztecs to the vibrant nation we know today? It began as a cradle of ancient civilizations, a land ruled by the mighty Aztecs, teeming with rich cultures and traditions. But the winds of change ushered in the Spanish conquest in the 16th century, toppling the Aztec Empire and spreading their influence across the region. Then came the 18th century, a period marked by the Napoleonic occupation of Spain, creating a ripple effect that reached Mexico's shores. The Mexican people, tired of their colonizers, began a rebellion that inevitably led to their fight for independence. After years of struggle, they finally claimed their freedom, stepping into a new era of self-governance. But the journey didn't end there. Post-independence Mexico faced numerous challenges, navigating its way through political upheavals and societal changes to become the modern, dynamic country we see today. Indeed, the history of Mexico is a captivating tale of resilience and transformation, a story that continues to unfold with each passing day.